Hello everyone, welcome to the Hobby and Craft Room. Hope you're having a blessed day, but more important, I hope you're blessing someone else. Today I'm going to take this dollar glass that I got at Dollar Tree and I'm going to engrave it with, I don't know if you can see this, with the rose using Cricut stencil. Costs about $8-9, but it's a roll, so you get a ton of it. And armor etching, which is about $9, but it lasts a long time. It goes a long way. I did this for the ladies in my office, and what I did, and I may show you both sides because the other side of the glass, I personalized each one for that person. I put their names on it, and everything like that. Then I put them in gift bags, and I made name tags with the Cricut for each one. So they really enjoyed it. It's kind of my way of saying thank you. I'm a local truck driver and these ladies work so hard. Every time they pick up the phone, they don't know if they're going to get a customer yelling at them because one of us drivers messed up their freight or we didn't have their freight or whatever. And these poor ladies, they never know what they're going to get when they pick up the phone. Anyway, let me show you how I did this, and it's really easy. I hope you go out and try it. And I hope you find this simple craft and inexpensive. I mean, for this, it's like $8-9, but it's a roll. And I've used some of it, obviously. And armor etching. And what you don't use, you can scrape off and put back in the bottle. And the glass is $1, so you're spending like couple bucks on whatever you want to etch. It's awesome. So let me show you what I did on Design Space, how I got the rose. I'll show you the Cricut cutting it out, and we'll etch it and we'll go from there. So here we are in Design Space, and I need to get an image. So I'm going to go to Google Images, and we're looking for I put in rose silhouette. So this is the rose that I used. And I'm going to click on it. I'm going to right click on the mouse and save it to my file. I have a Cricut file on my computer. So I'm going to save it. And then go back to Cricut. Go to Upload Images. Click on Upload. And then I'm going to find the file. Go to my Cricut file. And then my clip art file. And then find the rose. And it's down here someplace. And I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to, you don't double click like I think I'm going to do here. You just click on it and drag it into the space. And then minimize the window And I usually hit either moderate complex or complex. I kind of stay away from the simple. I don't completely understand all this. So I'm going to click on complex, I think, and then hit continue. And then you want to get rid of that white background. So you go up to the upper left hand corner to that magic wand and click on the background that you want to get rid of. Now if there's no broken lines like around the stem or anything that bleeds into the black area, you'll be okay. But I've had it where there's been a broken line, you know, where the image is broken and it wipes out half the image. So you click on that magic window and then you click where you want to delete the image, you know, the background, and that blue and white checkerboard shows that that area is now blank. It's non-existent. So now you hit continue. Now on the left side you have an option for print and cut. That's if you're going to print like a piece of clip art and then have Cricut cut around it, but this is just going to be a cut file. So I'm going to save it as a cut file. Now it's in my image file on Cricut on Design Space. I'm going to click on it. It's going to show up next to the cancel button there. All the images that you click on will show up next to the cancel. That's what's going to be inserted. So now this file is 1 inch tall, 1 1/3, and 1.2 inches wide. So I need this to be 3.5 inches tall, and with that lock that's in the middle of the height and width locked, that means that the height and width are going to stay the correct aspect, the correct ratio. So you keep that locked, punch in 3.5, hit enter on your keyboard, and now it's 3.5 inches tall by about 2.5 inches wide. Now that would work, I think, but what I'd like to do is go over to shapes and get a square, because now what you're going to do is cut the rows into the square, and then Cricut will cut the rows and then cut the square around it, so you have one stencil. So now I'm arranging the square behind the rows, and I'm going to change it to white so you can see it. And then I'm going to select both items. I'm going to click off of the square and then select both the rows and the square. You don't have to go across the whole thing. You just have to touch each item that you want to select together. Now they're both selected. You can tell that by going to the images on the right side and see that they're both shaded in gray. So they're both selected. So now I'm going to go down to slice in the lower right hand corner, and now the rose has been sliced into that square. So there's my stencil. I'm going to delete the 2 roses, the one that I brought in and then the one that was cut out of the square. I'm going to change color so you can see it to black. And now it's ready to be sent to the Cricut. So we're ready to go. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to hit make it. and on, you can see it here on the mat. That's where it's going to cut. And I have the original Cricut Explore. This works on the Cricut Explore, Explore Air 2, and the Explore 1, and the Maker. But this menu will only come up on the Explore and the Explore Air 2 and the Explore 1 if you have the dial on the machine set to custom. So if you have the Maker, the Cricut Maker, this menu comes up all the time because you don't have the dial on the machine. So now I'm going to go up to search all items. I'm going to click, type in stencil and hit search. And there's stencil vinyl. That's what I want. Click. And now I'm going to send it to the mat, and I will show you the Cricut cutting the stencil. All right, so we're gonna take the stencil off. Move the mat out of the way, and I like the Cricut stencil material for stuff like this, but I really don't like it for names and words, and the reason being is that you can't, because it's clear, and that's, you know, part of the, I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing, because it's hard to see when you're trying to get the little, like the inserts for letters and stuff like that. Seeing the letters and such on the white background of the wax paper here makes it really tough. With this rose, you just need to remove all the little cutouts and, you know, get them out of the way. And I got one more right here. But with words, you gotta be able to see, you know, the little inserts and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put this on here like this, and it doesn't really matter. I got one little petal, I think, right here. It doesn't really matter. I mean, if there's like a bubble or something like that on the stencil away from your cut area, then that's okay. You know, like if it's over here, then that's all right. But if it's close to, you know, your seam or where you're cutting, then you got to get that down best you can. Like right here where the stencil is cut, you got to, because the cream will slide underneath and etch the etch where you don't want it. So let's see. I think, where's my, one of the best things to use, and I don't know if I can find it right now, is the Cricut like rubber or the scraper, and I'm not sure where it is right now. So I'm just going to press it down best I can. Get the bubbles away from the edges. And I think we're okay. We're not great, but we're okay. All right, so sometimes what I do, if I'm doing a bunch of these, I'll stick a couple pieces of wood next to the glass and tape them down so the glass doesn't move. But I'm just doing this one right now, and I'm really concerned about this leaf right here, but I think I'm okay. All right, so put that there. Shake the Armor Etching, and ooh, kind of dry. And get a small little brush, and you're just gonna, I dab it. I mean, I'll push it a little bit, but you know, I think this is okay. All right, so this is like, the way I understand it, this is like a calcium that it's kind of I mean, it's corrosive, obviously, because it's etching into this glass. If you feel more comfortable wearing gloves, by all means, do it. But you know, you just kind of go around and dab it on here, and you're gonna let this sit for like, I let this sit for like 30 minutes. So some people sit for 15, 5, whatever. I give it some time. I let it sit. You know, do another project. Go get a cup of coffee or something. So that's about it right there. So I'm gonna let this sit, and then I'm gonna go wash it off in the sink, and we'll see what we have. So I let the glass sit for 30 minutes, and then I went to the sink and I washed it off, and I'm really happy with it. I don't know how well you can see it, but there it is. And in a future video, I'll show you how I put the names on. What I was trying to say in the video was, with the Cricut stencil, I feel like it works good when you're just removing all the little pieces of the stencil, like on that rose. But it's really difficult with words, because you have to keep like the inside of an O or the inside of an A in there, and you have to use transfer tape and stuff. And the stencil being clear, it's difficult for me, I guess, to see if I'm picking up the inserts, you know, the little pieces. So I just get cheap vinyl, and I use vinyl because I can see this blue and the contrast of the white wax paper. So that's what I use for words, and I use the stencil for, you know, designs that I'm gonna cut out all the pieces, and I don't need to use transfer tape to get all the little pieces that need to stay in the stencil. Folks, I hope you really enjoyed this. Use your talents, your love of crafts to go bless someone. That's what we're supposed to do, is uplift each other and bless each other. And you've been given a talent, you've been given a love with doing crafts, whether it's with the Cricut, whether it's with stamps, dies, whatever you make. Go out there and show somebody you care, whether they're on a hilltop and life's great and you want to encourage them that way, or if they're in a valley and you want to say, I'm walking with you. Have a great day, and again, go out and bless someone. Have a good one. Bye.